Welcome back everyone, Jared Leary here, and in this video we're going to talk about the using variables to make music project. So I click on the green flag and let's listen to what it sounds like so far. Alright, so you may have noticed the numbers changing up here. Those are our variables, and I'll now click Scene Side so you can see what it looks like with our code. So we have right here, when I press the green flag, it's going to set one of our variables that we call duration variable to 1.5. This is used to determine how long our notes are going to last, so our beats. Normally you'd type in a number here, but we can actually take a variable, something that can change, and put it inside of here. So instead of playing for the same duration every single time, we're going to actually change how long it does this. So if we look at the code, we first start off with the duration variable at 1.5, and inside of here, we're doing something 30 times. We're playing a note. And when we start, it does it 1.5, and then our next block actually changes the duration by minus 0.05. So it's making our duration a little bit smaller. Then it repeats through it again at a smaller amount of duration, and then again and again and again. And you'll notice that the duration slowly gets to a smaller amount, which makes it so that it actually plays through this faster, because we don't have to wait as long until it gets to the next note. Now we also have a second variable. The second variable, I called it note variable, and I set it to 40 at the very beginning. Then inside of here, instead of telling it what note we're going to play by using the triangle and selecting one of these, or typing in a number, we're using this variable. So that way we can change what note we play every single time. So we start on 40. So when we first hit play, it plays the note 40. And then down here, we're actually changing the note by 2. So this makes it so that if it starts, let's say on 48, the next time that it cycles through this repeat, it's going to go up to 50. And then the next time it's going up to 52, 54, etc. So it's actually adding 2 to it. So if we put this inside of here, we can actually change this stuff. So if we wanted, instead of changing by 2 notes, we could change by 1. And maybe start on the note 50. And we could also make it so that it goes faster by starting with a smaller duration, so how long it waits until it gets to the next one. So let's see how it sounds now. And if you watch up here, you can see those numbers changing. Okay, so now because I made some changes in here, it actually made it so the duration was a negative amount. So it would be impossible to have a beat have less than 0 amount of length. So it just stops playing it once it gets to an extremely small amount, close to 0 or at 0 and below. So what I'd like you to try and do is try and mess around with this different stuff and see how you might use variables. Now to do that, if you click on data, we can go to make a variable, and then you give it a name, call it whatever you want, something descriptive. And that adds the variable right here. You can make it show and hide in your project by checking or unchecking, and then you have different options for right here. What I'd recommend doing to learn more about them is you click on this question mark, and then click on one of these options, and it's going to explain how it works and give you an example of how you might use it in code. But see how you can use variables to make music by combining them with different sound blocks and different control blocks to make some interesting beats and melodies.